U.S. Attorney's Office from the Special Counsel for Legislative Affairs. Good to see you all.
Thank you. Good morning. Lisa Ray, who is a member of the General Counsel's Office and the Executive Office of the Mayor, is also on. I think that Alana Burnett, who is a Deputy General Counsel, will be joining us shortly, and maybe Reverend Sam Whitaker will be joining us as well. So we hope they're able to join us.
Hi, and I'm here too, Sonia Weil, representing Councilmember Charles Allen's office.
Thank you very much. I don't see it on my screen. I appreciate that. Thank you. Good morning. So today we wanted to provide an update to the public about where we are in terms of rulemaking. Our first activity really was to create bylaws and then to do rulemaking that would allow us to implement those bylaws. So by way of introduction, there's been a group that has met, I believe, 4 times since our last public hearing to further build off the very fine basis that we started with from the Howard University Law School students and faculty, which we remain very grateful for. Routinely in those meetings, we mentioned how great the work they did was. So that process is ongoing. We are turning what was an outline into actual rulemaking language and text, and starting to further refine our various areas of interest to us. So one of the things that we're definitely working on is the application that will be used for applications for clemency. That application, we believe, will be very well coordinated with the U.S. Department of Justice application as well. We're trying to make sure that in the interest of having things be as simple as possible and non-repetitive as possible, that we focus there. We're also looking at how we can address helping those who would petition for clemency to do so in as easy a way as possible, especially as it regards being able to find records that may or may not be available to them in the public space. So there's been quite a bit of conversation about that. So that process is ongoing. We plan to keep working on a weekly or bi-weekly basis for the foreseeable future to continue that process going. I don't know if there are any members of the rulemaking committee who want to comment further about your work in the process, or any thing that you think worth to highlight at this point. Yeah, I see some head shaking, so okay with me. Our plan is to keep going. I don't want to limit the amount of time that we're able to work on this, because I think it is a significant activity. It's an important one that we get right the first time. So we will keep working. And once we have something to bring back to the full community, we intend to do so. Any questions from board members regarding that at this point?
Patrick, I would just like to say thank you to the working group. I've read the product, and I think it's an excellent job, complete and balanced, and obviously the product of a lot of deep thought and hard work. So thank you to your group.
Thank you. Others?
Patrick, I would just add, and we'll talk about this a little bit more, I think quite a bit more when we actually present the finished product, but just for the general public, wanted to give folks a sense of what it is that we're working on and sort of the animating principles that we're sort of trying to bring to this. And so one of the things we've spent a lot of time about as a group is making sure that the process is actually accessible to people, that we're able to get information from folks who are applying that is the information that we need, but also doesn't exclude people from the process in the way we've requested information. And then also, I think one of the biggest driving forces as we've been thinking about this is ensuring that the process is equitable, and that it's not possible to come to these questions about how to make these recommendations without having your own biases come to the table. And so we've all been trying to think about how to approach these issues and try to address those biases and make sure that the system that we've set up is fair. And the Howard Clinic has been extraordinarily helpful with that. So the work is ongoing. I just wanted to try to give people a window into the sorts of things that we're discussing and look forward to hearing from folks when we have a product to present.
Thank you for that. Yeah, absolutely. The level of struggle among the group has been important, and I think the right way for us to go as well. I see that Alana has joined us. Alana, I have just kind of given a general overview of where we are in the rulemaking process, the number of meetings we've held, sort of the process. Emily has just made some statements about the sort of tenor of our conversation and how we were struggling to make sure that what we do is built on the framework of accessibility and equity. Appreciate those comments. Is there anyone else who wanted to make any comments about where we are? Okay. So I think that is our old business part of the agenda. The next is new business. Is there any new business that anyone wants to raise at this point? The only item I would have for new business is setting a date for our next meeting. And was hoping that that might be about 6 weeks from now. I was just wondering if members of the community would be willing to make it a calendar date. I think that would end up being Friday, March 12th at 10:30 a.m. Does that work for folks?
Okay for me.
Good for me.
Good for me.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I think that's everybody then. So we'll plan that our next meeting will be on March 12th at 10:30. Okay.
Hey, Patrick.
Yes.
Patrick, will it be at 10:30?
Yes. I think that's what everybody agreed to. 10:30, right? March 12th, 10:30.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I see head shaking. Okay, now we have a period for public comment, and I'm not able to see on my screen whether there are on the call.
So we have Professor Ross and Moyd and Miss Tiara Harper, and Sam joined via phone.
Very good. Welcome, Sam, and welcome to the Howard University.
If any public member wanted to speak, can you send a message in the chat? And then I will unmute you. I'm not seeing, oh, there we go, okay. Okay, Professor Moyd, you should be unmuted. Professor Moyd, you should be unmuted. Are you able to speak?
Alana, I see questions in the chat, but I'm not hearing anyone, so.
I have unmuted Professor Moyd and I added her as a panelist, but I don't know, it's not working. So I'm gonna just add Professor Ross instead. Give me one moment. Professor Ross, you are unmuted.
Thank you. Excellent. I put a couple of questions into the chat. I wasn't sure who would want to take them.
First question is there any chance that applicants won't have to fill out the Justice Department application if they do yours? So I can answer that. At the moment, we do not believe so, only because it's likely that they will still have to submit a Justice Department application. We are going to try to meet with the pardon attorney to gain more information, but it is likely that they will still have to fill out the DOJ application. The second, are you separating out clemency from pardon applications? What do you mean by that?
Oh, I meant, sorry, the pardon versus the, there are two issues. One is to full pardon, and the other is to lessen the sentence for people who are in already. Remember
Oh.
yeah.
Yes, those are separated.
Okay, great. And I don't have any text from Professor Moyd to share. I was hoping she would text me and I could ask her questions, but maybe she'll put them in the chat.
Well, I see her video.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. Hi, everybody. Apologize for the technical difficulties. I did want to just express my appreciation for the work that you all have done. It sounds like the subcommittee has been very busy. Chairman Canavan indicated that you all have met at least 4 times since the last meeting. So we appreciate the fact that you have made this a priority. I also did want to just notify you all that Professor Ross and I have identified one student who's in the clinic this semester who will continue to work on the remnants of this project. And that person is Tiara Harper, and she is on the call today. And finally, I just wanted to make sure that you all know that as you're working in your subgroup, that we remain available to support you all in any way, answer any questions that you all might have about the information that we submitted previously. Thank you.
Professor Moyd, thank you very much. That's a really important. I promise you we'll be taking you up on that. I'm very happy to hear that you have Ms. Harper willing to participate as well. That's great. I think having that voice in this conversation is really critical for us, so thank you.
Ms. Harper just stated that she wanted to say something, so I'm going to unmute her mic now.
Fantastic.
You are now unmuted, Ms. Harper.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to say hello and thank you for having me. And I'm excited to be here and support you all in this work. And thank you so much for everything that you've done so far.
Thank you. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your interest in this topic in particular? There are many things you could do with your free time.
Yeah, of course. So I'm really passionate about reentry and expungement work in general, and just about the disadvantages to particular communities when trying to reenter into society with regards to finding employment, finding housing, and just reestablish themselves with their families and communities. And then upon learning about the differences in the clemency process for those who have DC convictions in comparison with those who have federal convictions, and how there may be, it could be thousands of people right now sitting in federal jails and prisons who may be eligible to have their sentences pardoned or shortened, or their fines shortened, but don't have that ability to do so just because their convictions are under DC. So just about bringing fairness and the equality of rights to those same people. And again, thank you for having me.
Thank you. You're welcome. Really appreciate your work. Are there any other public comments? I think we maybe heard from everybody who's been from the public.
Well, there's no one else, on the attendee list, so that may be it, unless someone else would like to speak again. I don't see any comments.
Okay. Well, with that being said, there's no other business before us. Can we get a motion to adjourn?
Moved.
Second?
Seconded.
It is 11:03. We are adjourned. Talk to everybody on March 12th at 10:30.
Okay, thank you, Patrick.
Thank you, everyone.
Ilana.